Hello everyone, my name is TheUhhoh, and today we're going to be playing some Overwatch Open Beta, and as the title of this video would imply, and as the intro I just gave would imply, this is an open beta, which means it is not representative of the final product, so basically, don't be an asshole. I know it might be hard, trust me, I know, I'm an asshole, I have trouble dealing with these rules, but that's just how it goes. Anyhow, what is beta? Well, it's kind of my commentary on open betas, essentially. It's like what I do with other videos, only it's not on the actual finished game. I try to provide some, hopefully entertaining, hopefully, no guarantees there, that's really up to you, and hopefully informative commentary about the game, about how it's working, what I like and what I don't like, things like that. So basically my own fucked up version of WTF is, except unprofessional in every way imaginable, with a lot of rambling and a lot of nonsense and just general unprofessionalness. That's not even a word, I don't care, you know what you're getting into. So we're probably going to just start it up here. I'm going to be playing as Tracer today because, I don't know, I just feel in a Tracery mood. She's kind of probably the most famous character in the game right now, though that's for really all the wrong reasons. But yeah, I like her. I'm pretty good at her. She's not my favorite class in the game. I actually surprisingly like the Archer guy. I maybe got to play around with him for like an hour, and surprisingly enough, I'm not that bad with him, which is kind of odd because he's a sniper class, and typically speaking, I'm not good at sniping. I'm not sure if you've actually seen my content on this channel before, but if you have, you should know that my gameplay is about as unprofessional as this commentary is unprofessional. I'm absolute shit. So the fact that I'm able to actually pull off epic 360 no-scopes, well, I guess they're all no-scopes when it comes to a bow, but the fact that I'm able to kill anyone at all with him is either a sign that the class is overpowered, or a sign that for some reason I have found my forte in gaming, and that would be bows and arrows. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He can actually instant kill people. Tracer here, she can kind of warp around. She's kind of like, I guess she, in a way, is kind of like Ciri from The Witcher. She can phase in and out of existence. She can go teleport back to original locations. She's the Lady of Time and Space, only in a different version of time and space. We're doing, apparently, an objective game mode. Depending on what kind of point we're taking, this is either my favorite or least favorite game mode. I'm thinking it's probably my least favorite. If this is the one where you only take 1 point and you have to hold it, it's probably my least favorite, because I don't know why. It's just I don't like that game mode too much. I feel it's too short, and yeah, that's what this is. Okay, god damn it. Well, we picked a great one to start with. It's not that the game mode's bad or anything. It's just not my favorite. I prefer doing longer games, and usually these types of games, at least in the early version where no one knows what they're doing. I mean, it's only day 2 of the beta. Usually it just ends with one team absolutely dominating the other, and then it's over. And I don't really like that. I like longer games. I like really getting into it. I like killing people. I like going around, owning, taking the objectives, doing some cooperation. But that's not really possible in game modes like this. I will give them credit, though. At least right now, at least right now. You gotta keep in mind that as the meta of this game evolves, it's probably gonna become a longer and longer, more competitive game mode. But right now, it usually just ends with one team completely and absolutely dominating the other with no hope of survival. Oh, this fucker. This is probably my favorite of the offensive classes, actually. Not Tracer, but that guy I'm fighting. I think his name's Genji. I don't actually know the character names yet. I'm still getting used to the whole thing. I actually have not been keeping up with Overwatch at all. I really only started looking into it, I think, yesterday, when I heard the beta was coming out. So, that either makes me the best commenter on this possible, or the worst. It really depends on your perspective. But yeah, I'm actually liking it a lot so far. I'm liking it a lot. And the characters, one thing about the characters I find highly fascinating is they're actually very, very, very diverse, which, I was kind of fearing when I first read about the game that they wouldn't get class diversity very well, because a lot of games have been really struggling with that lately, but no! Every single fucking class in this game is so fucking different from each other. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Like this fucking Archer, for example. He's Archer. He's an Archer, so he's part of the sniper caste, obviously. But, you know, you got different classes of snipers. I mean, he's more of a scout class. He kind of goes around, he can scout things out. He's kind of like medium to long-range combat. Then you got Widowmaker, who is actually mostly long-range and mobility. They're very different. Fucking Widowmaker can get to higher places because she's got a grappling hook. But, Genji, is his name Genji? I don't know if his name's Genji. No, Genji's the sword guy. Whoever the Archer guy is, he can actually shoot tracer darts out. Not to the character, but tracer darts as in, you know, tracking devices. He can shoot those out, and he can actually scan the map for enemies. And it's pretty legit, because it reveals their location to everyone. That's just one good example of what I think is probably one of the biggest strengths of this game. The classes are so fucking diverse. They have such different playstyles to them. And they actually did get the healing, and they got the tanking fairly well. I mean, I guess if you're used to conventional RPG standards of tanking and healing, you might not be the biggest fan of this, but given that I don't necessarily like the stereotypical classic version of healing and tanking, and I'm more of a fan of the non-stereotypical, you know, tank can still do shit version. It really depends. I kind of like it. Because the tanks in this game aren't just tanks. They don't just sit around. And I got owned by another tracer, which shows my lack of skill. They don't just sit around and tank damage like they do in other games. They actually have an important role in this game. They can ambush people. They can fucking beat them to death. I was playing as Reinhardt earlier, who is like this big-ass fucking tank. He can deploy a shield. In fact, I think we actually saw him earlier. He's got a giant hammer, he can deploy a shield, he can tank incoming damage from a single direction. Yeah, he's actually pretty cool. I thought I wasn't going to like him because, well, I do play tank sometimes, and I do play warrior in most RPGs. It's not really my favorite thing to do is tank. I prefer, you know, melee damage. He actually can do a lot of fucking damage. He has like this charge attack, which he can pin people to wall, and depending on how much health your opponent has, you can actually instant kill them with that, which is pretty fucking legit. There was actually a moment where, back during one of my first games, I think it was like actually my third or fourth game, we were on this map and we had just gone through it 3 or 4 times because it was, I don't know what the game mode was. We were like tied, and we were in the tiebreaker round. So we were on this map, and I noticed that every time the game starts, the attacking team will always come out of these 2 doors, and they'll always go straight forward, and they won't check their corners. So I decided, you know what, I got this charge attack. I'm just going to camp around this corner here. I'm going to wait for the enemy to come, and I'm going to take them all down. Needless to say, they came around in a fucking conga line, and I owned them. It was pretty legit. So that's just one pretty legit example of class diversity in this game, and just how I like the mechanics they've added. The idea that a tank is more than just a tank, that he can do actual damage. It kind of encourages people that wouldn't normally play as a tank, or who wouldn't normally play as a healer, to play healer. And I kind of like that a lot. Well, it looks like we're actually going to win. See, this is what I was talking about with this game mode. Usually, it's usually all one. It's super one-sided. It's one team gets dominated, the other team wins. That's essentially this game mode, and I really hope the meta evolves to fix that, or they can do something to patch that, because it was kind of aggravating. I wish that it wasn't like this, but I guess that's just what happens. I mean, it's only the second day of beta, so maybe as people play more, they'll come to realize just, you know, their class is a choice, they'll get a better synergy, and they'll be able to hold these places better. But until then, this game mode's a bit short. Anyhow, that's probably the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I've been TheUhhoh, and I'll see you next time.